Nick, great to see you. There is only one place to start, and it's not Twitter. It's Manchester City. I know, I'm sorry. We'll come on to it, I promise. You always know you're going to be in for a busy afternoon against a side like Manchester City, but still, 7 saves made in the game. When you got back to the dressing room, when you got back home even, how did you kind of personally reflect on that performance?
Pretty tired at that point, I think. When you play Man City, it's always, a difficult test, kind of physically and mentally, I think, because of how they move the ball and how the players move. It's always a difficult test. You always know you're in a game. So, obviously glad to kind of play a part in getting a point on the board, if you like.
Because it's you, I have to read some tweets out from the performance at the weekend from some Newcastle United fans. So things like, what a keeper he is, world class. Nick Pope turned into prime Gianluigi Buffon, which was my personal favourite. How does it kind of feel to read or hear those and know that you've only been here a matter of months and you're already a fan favourite in these parts?
Yeah, I feel like they've took to me really well. Obviously something for a goalkeeper. I think when you sign for a club, that's you want to hit the ground running, and I think with the fans as well, there was actual performance on the pitch. So yeah, really pleased with how I've been welcomed into the city and the buzz around the city, and it's really really helpful for any player. But yeah, I'm really thankful for that, definitely.
They weren't the only comments about your post-match. Obviously, Eddie was talking to us in his post-match press conference. Pep Guardiola as well said that I think England have an incredible keeper there. When you were coming through, you were at uni at Roehampton, weren't you? Did you ever think a manager like Pep Guardiola would be talking about you in such glowing terms?
Yeah, I wasn't there very long, give it that. But no, of course not. That's something that is the great thing about playing in the Premier League. You get to play against these great teams and great managers and the great arenas. So yeah, it's always nice to have positive comments after the game. You work hard all week, and obviously for many years of your life to kind of round yourself as a goalkeeper and as a player. So to have them good games and then good moments, it makes it feel worthwhile.
When you have a performance like that and you get comments like that from the managers, from fellow players, what are your mates like at that? Do your phone start going right off with your mates texting you going, Pep Guardiola said this, you made 7 saves and throwing stats at you, or not?
Not too much, no. I think you're as you kind of grow up and you kind of grow in football, your circle becomes smaller, and obviously when you do play well, you kind of get more texts than if you let one roll through your legs. So it's very much part of as life, I suppose. When things are going well, there's more people that congratulate you and wish you well, and it's nice to hear, and I've got a great amount of support, family and friends, so I'm very thankful for that.
Hopefully there's not too many instances where the ball rolls between your legs this season, I would have said.
It happens to everyone.
Exactly. Speaking of managers, were you aware that Gareth Southgate was at St James's on Sunday or not?
No. Very, very rarely am, I think. But I think whether it's him or England scouts, I think they're at nearly every Premier League game, especially with Callum Wilson, Trippier, myself and the squad. And also you play against Man City, you think that England are always watching.
It almost sounded ominous, didn't it? How much extra does it kind of add to the performance, knowing that Gareth was there in person? He was able to see you at pretty much your very best there on that day. Yeah,
I feel like, from my thoughts on it, I'm concentrating on playing for Newcastle, really. And like I say, I didn't know he was there. So you want to do best for the club and my teammates and the manager that that's brought me here. So yeah, it's a very much England's kind of a thing at the back of the mind. I think that's the best way to approach it. We're a few weeks away or a month or so away from an actual camp, and obviously the World Cup's kind of beyond that. So very much all my focus is on Newcastle at the minute. I think that's only fair to current players, fans, staff, and only myself. That my form for here is something that will only do well for my England cause.
It's almost a byproduct of it. You're concentrating on the form for now, and if the England call-up happens, it happens. But if you were to get the phone call, what would it mean to you, especially after relative disappointment with Euro 2020? And who would you be telling first if you were to get the call?
Yeah, obviously to miss out during injury at the last minute, kind of, if you like, last couple of weeks of the season was tough to take at the time. But yeah, that's what it is. It's tough to take at the time, and then you realise that no, there's a bigger picture. There's getting back fit, and there's working hard for the next squads and your next opportunity to play Premier League football. So bump in the road, if you like. I think in your career you kind of need them, or you get them whether you like it or not, to be honest. So it's something that I try to use as a strength and to kind of work on myself to come back kind of better than I was before.
There could be a case that plenty of Newcastle United players are at the World Cup. I don't think Maxi's made any secret of his ambition to hopefully feature for France. What's it like from your position between the sticks, seeing Alan St-Maximin in full flow like he was on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm glad he's wearing black and white, because I've been on the receiving end of his skill and ability before. So yeah, it's nice to see him and the crowd roaring, kind of on my side, not running towards my goal.
There might be a couple of defenders in World Cup squads as well, especially given the form that some Newcastle defenders are showing right now. Just how impressive is this Newcastle United defence in front of you as a goalkeeper?
Yeah, it's been a joy to play with and kind of get to know, and they're getting to know me a little bit, and I'm getting to know them, and something that with time just kind of grows kind of stronger and stronger. So I think we've had a really positive start, and they've looked after me really well. So yeah, I'm happy with them.
Good to hear. That's the defence. The attack might very well be complemented by the time this interview goes out with the arrival of Alexander Isak that we've been talking to the gaffer about this morning. What sort of ambition does that show from Newcastle United with that sort of wow signing almost, and what can he do for this club, do you think? Yeah,
obviously, hopefully he gets over the line. It's someone that I've seen kind of play for Sweden, a little bit for Sociedad, really exciting player. And like we were talking about Alan, someone I think you want on your team, quick, scores goals, runs for days, and he's got stacks and stacks of ability and skill. So yeah, someone that, exciting player to have, and I think someone as a team, he'll enjoy it here.
The news came out, I think, a couple of days ago now, the news broke. What's been the kind of chat amongst the dressing room, amongst the lads with regards to Alexander?
Just, I think, a sign of kind of where the club's going, and where the club wants to be. A statement of kind of intent, and, I'm sure there's a lot of teams that would want a player of his calibre. So, if he comes here, it speaks volumes.
We've got a few minutes into the interview without mentioning it, so we're going to have to go there. I'm sorry, Nick. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll try and differ from what you've already been asked about before, because you found out about the fact that you were trending as far wide as South America, the other side of the world, when you touched down in Brighton, right?
Yeah.
What was talk me through what's going through your mind at that stage, and what was the most kind of surreal part of it, apart from it all being surreal?
Yeah. It all felt a little bit made up. Yeah, it was crazy, just because my phone's going off in every direction on every social platform you could imagine, and obviously I didn't have any clue what any of it is about. So that was kind of the first thing, was kind of trying to work out kind of what was going on. But no, all fun and games, and had a good laugh off it, and the boys definitely did at my expense as well.
I was about to say, what were the boys saying? Because I saw Bruno tweet out as well that with obviously you got involved. There were a couple of the lads who did. What were they saying behind the scenes?
Just showing me every meme and every video that kind of got posted. So it was it was an interesting 24 hours, and obviously at the end of that was a clean sheet and a tough game against Brighton, and a good result in the end where we dug it out. So that was a kind of a nice end to that.
And for the lad who set it all off, it was a free fast food restaurant. I'm not entirely sure I can say the name of the fast food branch, but a free fast food breakfast for him. Liam, of this account, what would you say to him if you kind of bumped into him, bearing in mind what happened a couple of weeks ago?
Thanks for that, I suppose. All press is good press. Does he want a job at marketing? No, it's obviously just shows the power of the fans, I think.
Yeah.
Like I say, they've been so supportive of me since I've signed for the football club, and that says it all. I think of how far they can they can take. Oh, they've took my name, I suppose.
I'm sure you didn't think when you signed from Burnley that you were going to be trending necessarily worldwide.
Maybe
anyway.
not this soon. Maybe not on a Friday.
No, we'll choose a different day next time. At full time on Sunday, and this is the last point I'll make on it, you launched the ball into the crowd in the Leeds end. Would you like to guess the nearest person to catching this, which was quite incredible?
That wasn't Liam, was it?
It was,
Was it?
yeah, incredibly. He was about 5 people away from it. I think there was a row in front of him, which would have been a beautiful kind of symmetry to it to end it and round
would have been
off.
good full circle, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have been fantastic, but strangely that didn't happen. Anyway, enough about Twitter. So far, the Newcastle United career, I'm going to try and list this out. 2 clean sheets, brilliant saves, trending worldwide, praise from managers. How would you kind of sum up the Newcastle United experience, both on and off the pitch so far?
Yeah, it's been, top level. The day I signed, I was only here 24 hours, kind of doing a medical, and really felt a buzz inside the building and around the city, amongst players, staff, just people you bump into. So it's a really good feeling, a really positive feeling right from the start, and just something that kind of snowballed and grown through pre-season, and obviously since the season has started. We had 2 friendlies in 2 days, and I think we were pushing, 90,000 odd people. It's a great sign of where the club is at the minute.
And I suppose it's compounded by the fact that even on days like today, a Friday, you're driving into training and there's about 200 fans outside asking for autographs, etc. How much different is Newcastle to any experience that you've had so far in your career?
Yeah, vastly. Like you say, you've got people waiting outside the training ground every day, before and after, wishing you well, wanting autographs, pictures, and yeah, it's something that, as an opposition player coming to St James's and having to face, the team and the fans, you always realise, or you always knew it was a really difficult place to come, and they were a real 12th man, and the atmosphere was always, one of the best you can experience in the league, in the world, really. So to have that kind of, pushing behind you and with you and supporting you, it's something that, is great to experience. And as a player, everything you could want. When you're a little boy wanting to play football and you're playing in front of 20 or 30 parents and a couple of dogs, then you kind of grow through the non-league and you get to a couple of hundred and a couple of thousand. It's everything you want and dream of as a footballer. And
suddenly you're at St James's Park. I was going to come on to the atmosphere. I just want to kind of jump into your boots almost. You're at the start of a game. You run between the sticks at the Gallagher end. The end of Local Hero kicks off. You're about to have the game kick off, and you've got the Gallagher behind you. What on earth is that like for you as a goalkeeper? What is it like being you in that moment when you see those sights and hear those sounds?
Yeah, pretty awesome. Just, the wall of noise and the atmosphere that's created, it's something that, is special. You can't get away from that. And but something to enjoy and something that, we should use to our advantage, and it is so positive. It's something that, you can only smile about and have good thoughts on. The amount of friends and family that have asked about it, and I get to obviously kind of relay the experience to them. And it really, like I say, it really is special, and it's something as a player, you really enjoy.
And like you say, you've got to take advantage of it. Newcastle have taken advantage of it this year. I think I was reading the other day, 26 out of a possible 33 points so far at St James's Park in 2022, which is quite an incredible record, certainly. What can this club achieve when the team and the fans are in sync in this manner? Yeah,
I think, you don't really want to put a limit on what we want to achieve. We want to progress on last season, obviously, and progress as a team. We want to score more goals. We want to concede less goals. We want to develop our style of play. You want to, build a relationship with the fans and give them football that they want to watch at the end of the day. Obviously, it's only a point at the weekend against Man City, but I think you're walking away from the game thinking that I could watch them boys play every week, and I could there was definitely sweat on the shirt, and you could tell how much we put into that game, and that's something that I think as fans, that really appreciate that sort of effort that goes in for the city and for the badge. And that's something that we're going to have to continue to show. That's something that's a non-negotiable here. So that's something that will, is a good baseline to have and a good foundation. I think that's something that, for the future is a good building platform to have.
And a big part of that, of course, has been the gaffer, has been Eddie Howe. He's already much loved around Newcastle, respected and admired by clearly you guys, the players, certainly the fans as well. Why is he the type of manager that you can only respect and only admire in terms of the way that he goes about things here at the club?
Yeah, obviously it's been a short time for myself working with him so far, but it's a great sign when you speak to other players and they speak so highly of the manager, and then you speak to the fans and they speak so highly of the manager. And then obviously my first experiences with him were really positive. The day I signed and been in his office and speaking to him, what he wanted from myself and what he wanted from the team, and how him and his staff are only here to help us and help myself grow as a player and become better. It's everything you want to hear as a player, to have all the support around you to become, the best version of yourself that you can be. And he's very much a supporter of that, and a supporter of, team first and having great characters in the dressing room, and, playing or on the bench or in the squad, day in, day out at training, we're putting in, 100%. And I think that's something that he's the person who's leading that.
And Newcastle have only had, one dressing room photo, I suppose, that you could have experienced so far this season against Nottingham Forest. But enjoying them so far?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the more the merrier. Hopefully there'll be a few more.
Bring them all on. You can't talk the gaffer without talking, of course, the owners. It's really struck since last October just how close they get to the team, the players. Even on Sunday, they're straight down the tunnel, coming to speak to you guys. I think I saw them speak to Eddie individually as well. What is that like to know that the owners are, kicking every ball with you, living every moment with you, and genuinely seem to mean it as well?
Yeah, I think I've experienced at different clubs owners that, you might see once a year or you might not see at all. Yeah. So it's going to have them, showing their support and, shown love for the club, if you like. It's only something as players that you love to see. You see how much it means to them.
Yeah.
So it's amazing to have their support. So much as well, if you like. Yeah, coming to every game and really supporting the boys, and like I say, coming to speak to us after games. It's all great.
And just finally looking ahead to Wolves, I couldn't believe this when I looked at the league table. I mean, not many people look at the league table so early in the season, but they are in the bottom three, despite playing some pretty good football so far. What can we expect from Newcastle? More front foot football, or is it going to be dependent on a Wolves side that have been pretty strong at home?
Yeah, no, difficult test. No, they've been in the Premier League a few years now, and have played good football of their own, different system to some teams. And they've kind of developed, season on season. They've got some, great individuals in their ranks as well. So again, another test that we're looking forward to. And from our point of view, we want to take our style of play and kind of hone it as best we can. We want to be, exciting and quick going forward, but we don't want to give up chances and give up goals easily. So that's something that we want to have a good balance, definitely.
I think if Newcastle avoid defeat, obviously it's 4 unbeaten to kick the season off. Last time Newcastle did that, 2011-2012 season, which seems an absolute age ago now. They finished 5th that season. What would that mean to the players to get off to such a good start and to lay the platform for what is hopefully going to be a very, very successful season? Yeah,
of course. Very early days at the minute, but we're entering a 3-game week, and I think in Premier League seasons they're important. So it'd be good to kick that off and continue from where we've left off in the previous 3 games, and take them positives into this next game and into this week, because you do well in a 3-game week and you can really set a good platform for the season, and that's what we'll be looking to do. And just very finally, Nick, I know you're only 30, and that is not, in your words, old in terms of goalkeepers. It's not old in anyone's sense, I don't think. Agree. But once you are done here at Newcastle United, in hopefully a fair few years to come, how would you want to be remembered? What would you have wanted to achieve with this club? Good question. Obviously, for myself, I think I work every day and I want to be the best version of myself, and as a goalkeeper. And when I look back and I'm retired, I'm sure hopefully I want to look back on some good individual moments and some great team moments. For myself, you have them good individual displays, but you ought to win games as well. I think you ought to win as much as possible. You ought to win at the big teams, home and away. You ought to experience the big atmospheres, and you ought to come through that all as part of a team. So I think hopefully lots of wins on the board, that would be a good thing. And then I think a city and a team like Newcastle has been too many years without a trophy, and that's something that is high motivation for everyone in the city, inside this building and outside. So that's something that to be part of that group that changed that and kind of broke that cycle, if you like, that would be something that we'd all be tremendously proud of.
And hopefully a few more Twitter trends worldwide before you're done here as well.
Build the profile.